What is up, Facebook? Hey, it's Dave Simney, 12-Minute Mentor, coming to you live. Today, I am going to tell you about something that literally, we hear the word life-changing a lot, and it's kind of like played out and overused, but I will tell you right now, there is a book that I have read, and I actually made it the gift for my entire team on our event this last weekend, that is mind-boggling. It's a 60-second read, and when I tell you a book will change your life, you can find this thing for $5 on Amazon. I'm not getting paid to tell you about it, by the way. I don't make a commission on it. I am telling you because this book, Negative Self-Talk and How to Change It by Dr. Shad Helmstetter, is life-changing. Let me just tell you some new brain science that's going on. We've all heard for years about positive affirmations and every day, vision boards and putting positivity into your mind and daily personal development and uplifting music and meditation and yoga and hot coals and the power of belief and all of this stuff. But now they are actually proving that our brains are wired from the day that we're born. That little baby in the hospital and the TV is going in the hospital room starts to program a brain, and every message that we receive, whether it is something we hear, whether it's something we see or we read or even think to ourselves throughout our whole lives, is wiring our brain. And this doctor, Shad Helmstetter, talks about neuroplasticity. What is neuroplasticity? It's the fact that our brains are constantly reinventing themselves and rewiring ourselves. So when we put garbage in, our brain will start to emit garbage and think garbage, and garbage will happen. When negative comes in, our brain will manifest negativity. Your brain is there to protect you, and it only knows what you tell it. So you can train and rewire your brain. This is the new science. So this one thing will help you. There is a disorder that is happening right now, and I'm going to do a little quiz for you, and you want to share this, drop the replay if you're watching replay, tag somebody in this, share this with your entire team. Not only should you pick up this book, The Power of, Negative Self-Talk and How to Change It, but I'm going to share negative talk disorder. It's negative self-talk disorder, and I'm going to read this for you right now, and you can tell me what you think. So it's a behavioral problem that's an actual disorder, all right? And here's how you tell if you have negative self-talk disorder. Check it out. Do you often think negative thoughts? Do you feel down or depressed for no apparent reason? Do you have trouble focusing on your goals and accomplishing the things you want to accomplish? Do you argue more than you should? Do you feel that life is working against you? Do you feel you're not in control of your future? Do you put off or procrastinate the things you know you need to do? Do you often see the worst first and the best last? Do you talk to yourself in any way that puts you down or makes you less than yourself? Do you find that you're self-critical and then in turn critical of others? Is something you notice the first thing a negative thought about someone or something? Is a noticeable amount of self-talk each day made up of negative thoughts? And I just heard a presentation this weekend that we're bombarded with 20, 30,000 thoughts every day, and 85% of them are negative. This doctor purports that 77% of the programming that we get, you guys, is negative from factors out there that are beyond our control. We're absorbing it in music and media, in our families and friends, and then worst of all, guys, we're doing it to ourselves. So they talk about negative talk disorder level 1. I'm not going to go through level 2 or level 3, but let me tell you negative self-talk level 1. Listen up. The beginner. Negative self-talk disorder. This is the person who's just beginning to wire his or her brain with more negative than positive, all right? The problem may start with a single bad experience. Maybe it's a series of life circumstances. It can be set off or triggered. It's the result of repeated negative programming from others. The result is a loss of belief in a positive outcome. Now, the level 1 person has symptoms. Here they are. Here's how you can tell if you've got negative self-talk disorder. Number 1, expresses frequent doubt. Often feels depressed for no apparent reason. Worries a lot. Begins to feel a lack of control in general. Expects unrealistically bad things to happen. Begins to complain more often. Smiles or laughs less than usual. All right. Begins becomes really self-critical and critical of others, shows signs of beginning to focus on the negative, begins to lose trust that things are going to work out all right. If you have this, here's the good news, because that sounds like a lot of people, doesn't it? Negative Nancy, right? Negative Nelly. They're all out there and you can spot them like that. But here's the good news. There's a book called The Power of Habit. And in The Power of Habit, Dr. Charles talks about a habit forms in 3 weeks. So Dr. Shad here in this book proves that in 3 weeks, we can develop the habit of rewiring our brain to speak life, to speak abundance, to start to self-talk the positive affirmations that really imprint your brain. When you walk into a room, somebody will say, it's too bright, it's too green, I don't like that couch, it's too dark, I would never live in this room. There are other people who will walk into a room and automatically find the positive about it. Wow, I like that color. You know, maybe they don't like the color of the walls, but they like the couch. So their brain will focus on that one thing that they like. Level 2 self-talk disorder is called the practicing downer. The practicing downer. Level 2 is the person who's practiced negative self-talk for so long that it becomes this person's default way of looking at life, you guys. Tag somebody if this is resonating. Forward this message. It's very, very important to recognize that's their default way of looking at life. The person begins to literally miss opportunities in life because they assume the role of the victim. They see the world as being unfair to themselves in particular, and they're beginning to give up anything wonderful or hope of anything positive. It's complacency. The symptoms of level 2 negative self-talk disorder, it's quick to point out things that won't work. They're often argumentative. They stop being an active listener. They're skeptical. They begin the day with a feeling of fatigue or dread, or not happy to wake up because they're dreading going to their office or their work. They create a cycle of self-induced depression. Begins to be more focused on themselves than others. They might start to withdraw from social engagements. They often see problems as bigger than they are. Increasingly unable to see positive alternatives, right? You know how I always say there's no problems, only solutions? The negative 2 self-talk disorder is increasingly unable to see positive alternatives. They become hypercritical of others. They become angry at outcomes and is seldom fun or uplifting to be around. Frequently shows signs of doubting the future. Increasingly feels a lack of self-control and often feels hopeless or discouraged. So here's the level 3, the final level in the self-talk disorder. This is the graduate negatroid. This is the person who is just inherently negative about almost everything. We all know somebody like that. The person who usually experienced long-term programming, mostly from childhood on. They don't have an occasional bad day. The level 3 doesn't even know what a good day looks like. The level 3 person, they don't live happy and fulfilled lives. Their life is not working. A negative attitude and belief system is around that person and everything they think or believe. That level 3 person, here's the symptoms to identify. Because you got to know who you surround yourself with. And if you're hanging out with a level 2 or a level 3, you know, level 1 can be changed, but a level 2 or 3, you have got to start keeping your distance from this person. They daily see life from a negative point of view. They've lost all trust in themselves and in others. They've lost belief in things that are changing for the better. They're seldom happy. They almost never smile or laugh in a happy, genuine way. They're often selfish and ignore the needs of others. They live with daily attitudes of criticism and doubt of others and everybody. They believe positive thinking is just wishful thinking. They criticize other people that are positive and too happy, right? They believe that negative thinking is the realistic way to think. They replace hope with the acceptance of despair. That's their lot in life, right? Replaces action with frustration and anger. These are Eeyores. They're Eeyores out there. It's almost never fun or uplifting to be around these kind of people, and they often form deep facial lines in their face of stress and frown, and they adopt a fatalistic, losing view of life, accept failure as just, that's the natural outcome of things, and usually they end up in a happy, unhappy life that fails. Guys, Because negative self-talk disorder is a progressive disorder, it normally starts gradually, and unless it's dealt with and reversed, it progresses to more and more unhealthy programs. These programs, until they are changed and added together, just become a way of life. There's a reason why this happens. It starts with how the brain is wired. So in this book, Dr. Shad talks about how the brain is wired, but the good news about all of this is you can reprogram your brain. It's called neuroplasticity. And when you understand that you can reprogram your brain, it takes about 3 weeks, but in 90 days, guys, 90 days, you will reprogram your brain. Your self-talk is critical. It's everything. It has nothing to do with anybody else but yourself. You may have been a victim of parents that didn't love you enough, people that called you a dummy all the time, people that said negative things about you or to you or your self-image or all of that. It can change. It can change with you making the decision that I'm going to have a positive affirmation. So what are some of the positive self-talk affirmations that you can practice? I'll make it very simple. Instead of the kind of person that says, I can't do that, how about, how can I do that? You just shift the word slightly to look for possibilities in everything. I'm going to share with you a website that you can go to. Again, it's not my website. It's just a website that you can go to get some valuable information, because this thing has changed my mindset, my business. It's really easy to just say, oh, be positive, but within a day or a week, you're back to your old habits and your old fears and your old doubts. So I'm going to share this website for you, because you can go and find 30 days of free self-talk affirmations, and in 30 days you can already start to make a change. The website, write it down. Somebody type it in the comments, www.selftalkplus.com. That's self, S-E-L-F, talk, T-A-L-K, plus.com. And you can get a free 30-day with the Self-Talk Institute. I'm not a representative. I'm not a trainer. I don't make money from this website. I don't get referrals. There is no financial motivation. I'm paying it forward because you have to recognize what level of self-talk disorder that you are at and how you can change it. I recommend you guys go out and get this book. If you say things like, I'm too shy, I never know what to say, I don't have the energy I used to, I never win anything, nobody likes me. If you say to yourself, everything I touch turns into bleep, if I just can't seem to get anything done, there's just not enough time in the day, that's impossible, there's just no way, I never get a break, today's my only day, I never win anything, blah, 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 blah. Stop telling yourself that. Start learning to say positive things in a positive way to yourself. Then you will imprint and rewire your brain, thank you to the neuroplasticity of the brain. All the books you've been hearing, all the positive affirmations and gurus that have been saying this for years are correct. It's proven science that you can rewire your brain to see the good and the positive in everything. And then you will start to find solutions. Then people will want to spend time with you. Then people will want to listen to what you have to say. Then your business will blow up. Then you can lose the weight that you want to lose. Then you can make life happen on your terms and not the little messages that have been feeding into your brain from this crazy negative society and the fear and the doubt and all the shame and the emotions and the anxiety and the stress and the poor me victim mentality. You can live in abundance, not scarcity. Drop the zero, get with the hero, read this book. It's $5 on Amazon. If you don't order this book today, you're crazy. I don't make 1 penny from this. Not 1 penny. So please, tag somebody that needs to hear this. Tag somebody. Get this book. I hope it's not backwards on here. If it's backwards, I'm just going to crack up. But it says Negative Self-Talk and How to Change It by Dr. Shad Helmstetter, PhD. All right? Do yourself a favor. I would buy 10 of these things. Buy 20 of these things and give them out to your team. Give them out to your boss. Give them out to your coworkers. Give them out to friends and family. Just drop it in the mail to somebody. This thing will change the trajectory of your life if you will let it. I promise you. And everything else will flow. Oh, mindset, mindset, mindset. Yes, mindset. But if you don't change the way you talk to yourself, if you don't forgive yourself, if you don't adjust yourself, how can you impact others? How can you lead a team? How can you solve problems? How can you be someone that people want to follow instead of avoid? This is a choice that you make. And I'll wrap it up with this. We make not one choice a day, not two choices a day. We make hundreds of choices every day, every hour, every minute, every second. Should I eat this? Should I call this person? Should I do this? And the question for you is, what choice will you make today that your tomorrow self, your future self, will thank you for? And hopefully if I've inspired you, as this doctor has inspired me, to just go out and make a tiny positive shift in the right direction and start being cognizant of your negative self-talk and flipping the script on yourself to re-imprint and reprogram your brain. It's not going to happen overnight. And yes, I will drop a picture of the book right now in the comments. Share this puppy. Let's get thousands of views on this. Share it with your teams. Tag your whole team in this. And follow me at 12 Minute Mentor. Thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing, blessed day. Speak life and abundance, not fear, not anxiety, not worry. Don't let the words come out of your mouth. You got this. I believe in you.